Hello viewers of SSBC, thank you so much for joining us in today's and in another episode of the Round Table Show as we are looking back at the creation of 32 states and Gbudue state being one of those states. And of course previously we talked to the governor of Gbudue state, of which he had so much to deliver to people of that state. And in today's interview we will see what went down the road, if things that were said are making sense of becoming reality in the state, is what we yet to see in today's episode of the Roundtable Show, as we're joined by the governor of Gbudue State, Honorable Daniel Gbudue, who will be telling us what is happening in Gbudue State currently in terms of development, in terms of security, in terms of, situation down in the grassroots. Honorable Governor, welcome to Roundtable Show.
Thank you very much, SSBC.
We are happy to see you in Juba, and first of all, we'd like to know whether, you're being in Juba, if the state is safe.
Absolutely, my state is very safe.
Okay.
Yes.
So to start with, Governor, previously, before we go to what you told us last time, now we need to know. Tell us about what is your impression about the political and, talk about the security situation down in Gbudue State currently. How do you describe the situation now?
Currently in Gbudue State, people are enjoying absolute peace because for 12 months since last January, when I was appointed by His Excellency the President, when I went to the state, I decided that my motto was, peace is the only battle worth waging. So I was fighting actually using peace, and that's what has finally brought a peace into Gbudue State. Gbudue State, as I'm talking, is very calm. For 12 months, there's not been any gunshot, and the people are really enjoying the peace now. There is a relative calm in the state. People are moving freely. People are doing about their business as usual. People are going to their farms, and I'm very happy to see the progress of Ahmed.
So, Honorable Governor, you're telling us Gbudue State there is no gunshot for the period of almost 12 months. What has changed? And tell us, how many counties do you have? And moving out of Gbudue State to those counties, tell us how is it? Because sometimes back days you can't move from Gbudue. Now I don't know. You're telling us things are right.
Yeah, we have 6 counties in Gbudue State, and those counties, some of them have not yet appointed commissioners to them due to the new budget I'm waiting for to take them there, and one of these days I'm planning to do so. But the movement amongst these counties has been very, very peaceful now. People can be able to move to all those counties without any problem. And people are also digging in those counties, doing their businesses as usual. What has led to that is the spirit of nationalism which we put in Gbudue State, whereby we said, this time for South Sudan to move forward, we need South Sudanese people to do their own peace. We must be the drivers of our own peace. When we own our peace, we talk our peace, and we move our peace, yes, we will be able to consolidate that peace. That's what we have done. So when I was in Gbudue State, first time, I told the people I've come for peace, and I actually walked the peace. I engaged everyone, the youth themselves, who are actually the implementers of this insecurity we are seeing within the country. I engaged the church leaders, I engaged the traditional leaders, I engaged the civil society, I engaged everyone to talk about peace and to make peace attractive to the people, yes, and to see how people can own their country. People can have a sense of belonging to their country, and also showing to them how we can protect the social fabrics of our country. With that, before that, we started dialogue, which was initiated by the governor. My predecessor was there before me, Patrick Raphael Zamoy, and I was the mayor by that time. We did the same work together with him of starting the dialogue with the Ahmed Group, which we have done, and we signed the peace also during his time. And when I came now the governor, I continued to implement the same plan we had already said to negotiate with the Ahmed Group. Yes. And also this time again, I did more to also open up to other, because we had 2 different rebel groups within Gbudue State, the SSNLM and also the IO, who are also there. So when His Excellency issued amnesty, yes, we implemented the amnesty in Gbudue State. We gave the amnesty. Then we benefited about 1,300 of the IO defected to government and plus SSLM. Then we continued to use our own dialogue. What again did was to initiate several other dialogues, community to community, community to youth dialogue, community to traditional leaders dialogue, community to military dialogue. Those are the different dialogues I have carried within the Gbudue state to make peace attractive to people.
There is something that took place in Gbudue state last year, Honorable Governor, concerning this same group of SSNLM, of which it was almost causing problem to your state. And we are talking here about the leader of this group. And people were saying, currently now you're saying things are peaceful. Are you optimistic that some of the people who are so much linkage, who are so much close to the leader of the SSNLM, who passed on, won't be causing problem to your state?
Absolutely, they will not cause any problem, because for them they were not the cause of what led to the passing on of Kabila. Kabila was not actually the leader of the SSLM. The leader is there, but he was a clever man, and he used this cunning mechanism to supersede the leader of SSLM who was there. We as government, we committed ourselves to the peace we signed with the SSLM, and Kabila used that chance of the peace we signed with them as a person to actually do other dubious activities, which resulted into he used to most of the non-gunmen issue we're hearing in Gbudue state. He was the one doing that. He formed his own gang who was doing criminal activities, killing innocent people. You remember he killed a doctor and also another medical personnel. Again, he could rob people. He could terrorize the entire Gbudue state. And we tried to talk to him several times, and he could not listen. And therefore, he, after knowing what he did in Gbudue state and even other states like Meridi state as well, he saw the magnitude of what he was doing was so bad, and he knew that the government, we have learned of what he was doing. We tried to become very persistent during that time, because we knew that Kabila will change. But of course, he could not change, and what happened to him was not even from government. We wanted him to come to Juba. We were renting a place for him here, the national government even, where they could stay. But his presence in Gbudue state was totally very chaotic, and therefore he planned that day to go on rampage, to shoot people at random, because he knew that after killing and mutilate medical personnel, he knew we have known it as government. Of course, we are going to ask him for that. He will appear before the court to answer those charges. He decided to go on rampage. And, as a security personnel, we knew of that. And he wanted to start with me. Then I told him, no, that we cannot do it that way. Then on that particular Sunday, he was ready. He prepared everything to go to the market and start shooting people rampage. That's why he himself called the commander, brigade commander in Yambio, to go to him so that they can negotiate. But it was just a tricky. He wanted to shoot the brigade commander. And when the brigade commander went there on good faith, in order to convince him to come, because we even got a plane here to go and pay him to Juba, which he refused. Then from there he opened a fire at the army there by that time. Of course, the army, they have to act on self-defense, and what happened to him happened. And by that time we said we don't have any problems government with anyone. We never intended to do what happened to Kabila. He did it himself, and he brought what happened to him by himself. We protected even his family.
So, Honorable Governor, now coming down to the issues of while you went to the state, we saw people jubilating, welcoming you, having so much hope on you that you're going to deliver to them. In your manifesto, you talk so many things about peace, talking about roads, talking about a lot of things. Now we need to know, out of those manifestos, out of those things that you pledge people of Gbudue State, did you achieve some of them? And what were they even?
Yeah, some of them are already achieved, and others are not achieved yet because of the economic situation in the country. But the physical peace, I promised to the people are enjoying the peace now, and that one is beyond reasonable doubt. People are very happy about it, and people even know that the problem is we don't have money now. If I was having money, they could have seen tangible what is there. Despite the fact that there is no money now in the country for development, we are trying the best that we can. with our development partners. What I've done so far is to unify the Revenue Authority and bring the proper system into the Revenue Authority. I've passed a bill that will now look at how the financial management of the revenue the state is generating will be used. And this bill is passed, and we are now going to make Revenue Authority in Yambio automated. They will use e-tax is what we are going to be using in Yambio with support from our partners. We have worked with them on that.
Yes.
And now as I'm talking, the work is going on. I've even appointed a Commissioner of Revenue Authority. That has never been there before. It's a change. The people of Gbudue have seen that the traders themselves, the investors and the people who are doing business, they are now going to be registered and have a data, and they will be able to even know how much they are supposed to pay. Even somebody will even know how much he can pay in a year as a tax. That is done, and people are very happy about that. Also, this SSLM is still, the integration process is in 3 forms. One is to integrate them to the organized forces. That 100% we have done it, and there are about 1,926 officers are already integrated with 141 of them having ranks ranging from brigadier down. That one is done and it's a credit. Already we have registered. And then also the government system also. I've done a lot of reform within the government that shows that there is transparency in what people are doing. People get to know exactly how government is running. I've also promoted the civil servants to higher ranks, the grades, which have never been happening before there. That one I've done that. And also the other part of integration is those youth who went to the bush, they were taken by force, but they've come back. And this one they don't want to go to the regular forces. They want to remain and be integrated within the community. Leaving them idle will lead to another chaos because their mindset has to be changed. They're supposed to be integrated into the community. So to do that, we need to empower them economically. What I'm doing so far in that is I'm already constructing a very big vocational training center for them, which again are accredited to improve the lives not only for those to be integrated, but also those young people who never got a chance to attend to regular education. So they will have a chance now to go to improve their skills in carpentry, in welding, even saloon work. That will later on create them for them income generation. That one is already accredited done.
All in all, Governor will say like you're moving a step ahead of what you have told people of Gbudue State. All right, we'll come back for that and hear more from that. Viewers of SSBC will be going for a short break and pick up from there. Please do stay tuned with us. We'll be back shortly.
The Round Table Show is a platform where we discuss topical issues that affect the nation. Our guests in hard questions and get their inside views on the matter.
There are some people who are complaining that there is corruption taking place in your state. What do you say about this?
These people, they are people who come to me and looking for the position. When they miss it, then automatically they turn themselves as the opposition and they are challenging me. They talk about the corruption. Corruption is not easy.
This is Round Table Show, the voice for the voiceless.
Viewers of SSBC, welcome back from that short break. We are still discussing issues to do with Gbudue State and knowing what is happening currently, despite of the fact that the governor, who is the first governor of Gbudue State, Honorable Daniel Badagbure Mbassa, has said before, and now we are talking about whether whatever he has said is really getting down to the people, of which is the SPLM, vision of making sure that services are taken down to the people in the people who are down in the grassroots. Honorable Governor, you have mentioned so many things about whatever you have achieved so far. Despite of the economic challenges, you're still, trying to pull up your socks and ensure that things got right. Let's get to hear about now of recent you held Governors Conference in Gbudue State. We don't know. What was the motive behind this? I mean, why did you decide to call other governors to your state? What was the reason?
The major reason was to increase our coordination and the cooperation as the governors of that area, and also to share with them, either to share among ourselves the best practices we have done so far, as how we can bring peace as governors to our states. As governors, we represent our president in our states, and we are supposed to do more with our communities in order to bring peace to the people. That's why we realize that we cannot only have this relative peace in Gbudue State without sharing best practices with other governors. We may learn from them, they may also learn from us, and also to increase our coordination as governors. We need to know ourselves. We need to make sure also we see how we can consolidate our security, how we can coordinate it, and how we can also work together to open the roads amongst our states, like the road from Tumbra to Wow. It should open so that food from Yambio and Tumbra can go safe to Wow, where sometimes there is no food from the people in that part of the area. Also, the road from Amadi, maybe from Faragusika to Amadi and to Juba can open, so that we can be able to bring some food from Yambio and that area, even greens, a fresh one, to Juba, and movement between Juba and that part of the region can be safe. The same way also the Maridi, Faragusika and Ye can open, and even Ye to Kaya can open, and even Ye to Juba can open freely. And also from Maridi to Mvolo, and from Mvolo to Gok, from Gok to Rumbek, and from Rumbek to Tonj, and from Tonj to Wow can open. So that we are the leaders in those areas. When we come together as leaders, our people will see that the unity we need should begin from us as leaders. That's why we thought wise that we can call that conference there to increase our coordination and cooperation with the governors, and also to unify our people.
This drives us to talk about, always it's good to have conference, but what next? After having this conference, you draw your resolutions, you come up with things to be put into practice. Tell our viewers what happened after this conference you held. You call on all these governors and they send their representative, or they come themselves. Is there something, has something changed?
Exactly. We have seen a lot of changes. There have been a lot of stealing of cows from the Lakes State, the former Lakes State there, Gok State and Rumbek and Tonj. And after we did the conference, these cows were being stolen and were taken to our states, Maridi and Gbudue. Then after the conference, we resolved that no cow which is stolen will go to our states. Then as a result, some cows which were stolen and taken there, we have returned some of them back, which is very good, and their owners have received it. Yeah, exactly, yes, we have done so.
Okay.
This has now seen how we've increased our relationship. So they told us certain, a bull was stolen of this, whatever. Then it was discovered in Yambio, and we have sent the cow back. The same thing happened in Maridi. And now, after seeing that as an example, we are now moving to open a secretariat to monitor the resolution we had. And I'm actually the chairperson for that. And I'm now working to start visiting even those states to see my governors, even to go like to Amadi, for instance, so that we can sit there and talk to our people. When our people see their two governors, their two leaders have come, and we are talking seriously about the peace. And to me, what I am now talking more about to the people is nationalism. Because when we build nationalism into our young people, those in the bush, they will not be able to kill their own relatives if they have nationalism and a patriotism in their hearts. So we are seeing that the conference we held is yielding a lot of result. You have seen that Governor Patrick Raphael Zamoy has also visited his counterpart, the governor of Wow, and as a result, they are working now to see the road between Tumbra and Wow opens and the movement begins, which is very good. So it's good for us leaders always to come together as governors and solve some cases which we see can be solved at our level. then we can only push the one that can be solved at national level to His Excellency the President to intervene. But many of these things can be done by ourselves.
Honorable Governor, let's get to hear this. Assuming, just guess somebody today, you hear a large report concerning your government, that the government under the leadership of Daniel Gbudue Mbase is not doing enough to people of Gbudue State. If you hear such, what will be your response towards that?
Of course, you know, we are not perfect. And we learn through advice from people.
Yes.
Me, I'm such a nationalist who loves to hear from people. When people say I'm not doing much, that one gives me courage to do more. So when I hear such words, I will now do my own assessment. I look at my weaknesses and even look at my strengths.
Yes.
I will now carry those analyses and come up and say, yes, I will recognize. I will look, why do people say this? I have to go deeper there to see what could be the problem so that I can improve on them. That's exactly my answer to the people.
Of recent, we have seen a number of both local and international investors in your state. And people are asking a question, what were they doing there in your state? And I mean, just give us a highlight of what took place between your government and those investors.
Exactly. You know, what I've done is when there is a peace, that's the dividend of peace. Once there is a peace in an area, you will automatically open that area to both local and international investors. You know, investors, what they need is peace and security for their personality as people, security for what they will invest in, and security for their money. Yes. So that one is geared when they see there's a rule of law in that particular place, there is a peace, there is a stability, they will come. So what I've done is I've opened Gbudue State for investors. We have provided a conducive environment which is creating the peace, and they've come, they've seen it by themselves. That's what is attracting them there. And they have seen the area is very good for investment, agriculture, people can invest in it. Also, people invest in timber, people invest also in the mining, gold, whatever. Those are the potential areas for investment in Gbudue State, and even you know, provision of other essential commodities.
Did they start, or they just come for assessment, then they will start later on?
No, the one who have come in timber, they are doing great, like Equatorial, they are doing very great. They have now planted more than approximately 11 acres of teak. Tree is already planted.
Okay.
And they are planning to plant about 18,000, and they're already clearing the bush to do that. And also we are introducing coffee. As I'm talking, we have more than 150,000 seedlings of coffee we are going to give to the farmers, and to especially young people to plant. And also the teak, we have also more than 670,000 seedlings with plantation going on, and this has created also job opportunities to these young people. In order to keep them idle, that's what they are doing already. Even local investors, they are already investing in farming. Some people locally are doing that, and the business is also booming. Some of the bigger businessmen from Gbudue State who ran out because of insecurity in the area to Uganda, I've told them to come back. They have all come back, and now they're investing in their own estate, which is very good.
It's now about knowing where these little resources from the investment going to, because always when they come, when the investor come in your place, there is something small of which is supposed to benefit the communities. Now, Governor, tell us whether the little resource so far the state has got, is it going to people or it is going to individuals?
The little resource we are getting within Gbudue State is directly going to the people. As I'm talking, we have opened a medical school because my aim is to train medical officers. The Bomash or any primary health care center should have a qualified medical personnel. We have opened a medical school which is already existing. We have about 175 students there, and those students, out of them, the state is paying 20. It's giving scholarship to 20, and we have collected them all over the state, not only in one particular area, so that when they finish, they will go back and help their communities. The little resource is going towards them. Also, before what I heard from the national minister some weeks back, that we need our teachers to be empowered, to add value to education. Gbudue State, when I went here after talking to you, the resource we are getting, we have enrolled 20 teachers taken all over the state to the university to do education. The aim is to have all our secondary schools in Gbudue State should have teachers who have finished university, who have degrees in education.
Okay.
And that's what I'm doing already. And so they have even finished their first semester in a degree. In actually a university we have even established in Yambio. And now this semester I'm also getting 20 people in agriculture who will be also doing a degree in the university. The aim is every Payam or Boma, I need to be having there a qualified teacher with a degree to head a school in that particular Boma. Also a qualified medical personnel to be there to head the health center.
Okay.
A qualified agricultural extension officer to be in that area to help people in farming so that we can grow up.
In general, you want to tell us, like, whatever you're getting, you're giving it back to
direct
the
to the
community.
people. Even now I'm renovating also my old secretariat, the old secretariat in Gbudue State is now under renovation from our own resources.
Okay.
I'm renovating it first time and people are wondering, well, there's no money, why is Gbudue State renovating the secretariat? Because when I went there I found that the current office, which I don't know why people moved to it, was the presidential villa. They turned the office. I said, no, as an SPLM cadre, I can't go to part of J1 because that presidential villa in the state,
yes.
it belongs to J1.
Yes.
You cannot go and occupy it as an office. Therefore, I said, the little resource I'm getting, I have to renovate the old secretariat. And now the renovation is almost done. At the end of this month, I will be moving to that office, which is fantastic. If you can see, it's better. And then I'm also, through development partners, I'm putting a solar system there also to save on the fuel.
Governor, in case you're going to still serve the people of Gbudue State, what will be your final future plan to see that state in what, I mean, how do you want to look at Gbudue State?
My future plan for the people of Gbudue State is to see a transformed Gbudue State, whereby the income per capita per household is increased, whereby each household in Gbudue State through farming, which I've already done, agriculture, we don't talk about something about it. I'm forming now several cooperative societies, whereby these are farmers associations, whereby I need to empower these people through farming so that it can boost their income. Because to have a sustainable state, economical viable, we need to embark on agriculture to improve the life of the people. Yes. I need to see Gbudue State being a sustainable state, a state which is able to feed itself, provide food security for its people, a state which is ready to educate its own children and have added value to the education system by having qualified teachers in the state and having qualified medical people who will be able to provide health for the people so that we don't see our children, our women die in the hospital. And that one we have done in Gbudue State. We have already renovated through our partners the pediatric ward, yes. And we have equipped the pediatric ward with even beddings and everything there. Also the labor ward, we have already renovated that so that it's not now going to be a problem for the people. I need to see Gbudue State in the future transformed and moved from where they are to the next level where all the citizens will be happy, they will have income, and they will not suffer from poverty or hunger.
All right, viewers of SSBC, you just had it all from Honorable Governor Daniel Gbudue, who have said everything about Gbudue State. And that brought us to the end of our roundtable discussion. And please, we'll have to join you some other time. And Governor, it's been a pleasure having you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
And we hope to see you back.
Thank you.
And send our regards to people in Gbudue State.
I will do. Thank you very much. Thank you.